Welcome, everyone, to another edition of About the Town. I'm Craig Coughlin, your host. As always, it's a pleasure to be with you. Today, I'm joined by Bill Patterson. Bill's an author and the Municipal Regional Coordinator for a group called NaNoWriMo, which teaches people how to become better writers. Bill, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So, you're a novelist, right?
Yes.
How'd you get started doing that?
It's a rather long story, longer than we've got here.
Okay.
But essentially, when I was in college, I wrote stories instead of doing research projects, which was allowed. And it's a lot easier writing a story for my brain cells than it was to, figure out light and dark in the Elizabethan theater or whatever the topic was. But when I went and joined the workaday world, that kind of faded away. 2003, I tried to start a novel because I had to. Fantastic idea, or at least so I thought. And that didn't work. I got to about chapter 5 and it died. And that is a problem with a lot of people, that novel without a support system. Okay, or they try to write something down, they get to about 50 pages in, 100 pages in, and they stop. And that's what happened to me. Around 2006.
Why is it? Why do you hit that wall at 50?
Well, it's
50 pages, give or take?
There was, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the lady's name who said this, but she said essentially, when you hit 100 pages, you've run out of the original idea's inspiration, and you don't know where you go from there. And a lot of the writing that you've written sounds hackneyed or cliched because you're your own worst critic, right. And so you end up grinding to a halt. There's also psychologically the idea of forming good habits, writing every day, which is what all great authors do, is they end up writing something every day. I'm not there yet.
Right.
Don't write
Writing every day about on one project or about
no.
Okay.
You want to be working on various projects so that you write some on one project, you run out of steam on that one, you shift over here because now you've got another head of steam for this project, and so you go from one to the other. That's how most great novelists work. They're not grinding away on a single book all the time. They're doing several different things.
Now, do you write in a specific genre?
I used to think so. I tend to write technical science fiction, orbits, lasers. I don't do trolls, I don't do swords, I don't do magic. But I was challenged to write a young adult novel, and that's what I'm working on right now. Mm-hmm. It's a sprawling 173,000 words, but I have to cut it down to about 70. So it's on a massive weight reduction program.
Now, 173,000 words is how many pages?
It's 775 pages. It's ridiculous. Nobody's going to read that. So I have to slim it all the way down to about 300 pages. So I've got to cut 60%.
Is that easier or harder?
For me, it's much easier to cut.
Okay. Because
I can read this and go, oh, this is garbage, and throw it out.
Right.
And the experience that I've had with NaNoWriMo has led me to believe that I can generate novel stuff, the writing, much easier than cutting it. I mean, I can generate, so I don't have a problem hacking out 1,000 words. Other people, your mileage may vary.
For folks at home who may not be familiar with NaNoWriMo, why don't you tell us who they are and what the goals of the organization
Sure. NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month, was started in 1999 by a bunch of people out in San Francisco, about 30. And they said, yeah, let's just try to write 50,000 words in 30 days. Bet you can't do it. It was a challenge, and it's always been a challenge. There are no prizes, no awards, nothing like that. But it's a challenge. A lot of people, probably some of your viewers, are sitting at home saying, I've always had this idea to write a novel.
Right.
In November, National Novel Writing Month starts off 1 November, and the challenge is there. Join us. Do it. Write 50,000 words in 30 days. And that means that you write probably 7 to 8 pages a day. That's all you have to do. You really don't want to fall behind because it gets
then you got to write 16 or 24.
It's a lot tougher. Right. But that's really the goal. And as of last year, as of last year, there were 340,000 people in 60 countries that are part of National Novel Writing Month. It's now international.
Is it linked somehow? Do you all know what? Do it together, or is there some?
Well,
website that everybody goes to?
There is a
Talks about their
centralized
experience?
website for the community building aspect of it. For example, I'm the municipal liaison, one of two, for the central New Jersey region of NaNoWriMo.
Okay.
Woodbridge actually falls on a border between central and northeast, so you can choose whichever region you like. I like central because we always win. We write more words. We write more words with fewer people than Northeast does. Sorry, Northeast. And we generate more donations to NaNoWriMo, which is a 501c3 tax-exempt organization.
Where does that money go?
That money goes to support the website, which is huge because 340,000 users chews up a lot of bandwidth and a lot of tech support. In addition, the money goes to support things that are for children. For example, they've got something called the Young Writers Program, where children as young as about 7, they reach down into the schools and they say for children 7 to 17, we've got programs for you. The Young Writers Program is a fantastic thing. I just read a story on the blog 2 days ago about how 500 kids in a school in Kansas not only wrote, but proofread, edited, and published through CreateSpace their own novels. And they actually are holding them. They had some pictures there. Kids lined up along the walls of the school holding their novels. And just imagine what that's like for a 6th grader. Yeah. You know, and that's just fantastic.
Now, NaNoWriMo, it ends with National Novel Writing Month, but it's really an organization, right?
It's an organization, yes.
And so, do you do this collectively? I mean, do you have sites? Are there training sessions that the organization has?
One of the neat things is that it's almost entirely self-directed. The municipal liaisons, Rashenda Gould is my co-municipal liaison. She said it best. She says, here in Central, we dream big, and then we make it happen. We do. Our goal is to get as many people across 50,000 as possible. We want people to catch the bug of writing, to be able to generate their novels, which are very important to them, to put that work into it, to get it done, and to be able to go to CreateSpace, which is actually part of Amazon. If you cross 50,000, you get 5 free copies. And you can go there, upload your novel, and hold it in your hands. And to some of the people, that's an extremely important thing. There was a 12-year-old, actually too young to be part of NaNoWriMo, but she snuck in. We don't know this stuff. And she showed up at our TGIO party, thank God it's over, party last year and said, yeah, I wrote 25,000 words. For a 12-year-old, that's pretty amazing.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and she's on fire.
Now, 50,000 words is about
300 pages.
About 300 pages.
That's double-spaced, single side.
And what's the significance of that? Is it really just to program people or to help them discipline themselves to focus on their writing and to really produce? Is that the goal?
The idea is that you turn off your inner editor. Okay, you just turn it off. You write, and I've done this myself. You write, and you've written yourself into a cul-de-sac, and you just draw a line that says everything from here to here is garbage, and I'm going to go back to here. Okay. And I write that in the manuscript, and then I start again and go in a different direction. And that's fine, because all those words count. And the theory here is that you just produce. You crank out the words, and you turn off the inner editor, and something magic happens within the noveling brain when you do that. It allows your subconscious to come out, and your subconscious is the one that's actually doing all the work, all the imagination. Right. And it'll come out, and it'll form stuff for you, and you're like, I didn't see that coming. Right. And
now you have a program that you're doing with the Woodbridge Library, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Woodbridge Library. They approached John Gibbs, who's part of the New Jersey Authors Network, which is a Yahoo group, and they said, we'd like to have authors come in and give talks. And while John was there, they talked about NaNoWriMo, even though I had not actually been in there or anything else. Right. And John knows that I'm very deep into NaNoWriMo, and so he passed that contact on to me. We went and talked with them. And we did something over the summer called Monkey in a Box. And I believe that...
you being the monkey.
I'm the monkey. And what we did is I sat in a corral of tables, and we had a widescreen TV, facing out to the audience, and they were plugged into my computer, and as I wrote, they could read.
Really?
So
how is that? That has to be a challenge, right?
It was a lot of fun. We had people from Australia, Norway, Finland, Wales, and Canada also participating just because I said that I was going to do it.
Online, they did?
Online.
Okay.
And we had people producing 10,000 words in a day, which is a pretty big achievement.
Right.
And in an 8-hour run, I did about 11 and a half.
11,500?
Wow. And the idea was to show people that, yes, it is possible, and to demonstrate how turning off your inner editor allows things to happen. And it was just a lot of fun. And we had, while we were there, there was a young girl about 9:30 in the morning. I started at 9.
Okay.
About 9:30 in the morning, she's sitting there staring at the screen. And she turns to her mom and says, I'd like to do this. Can you go home and get my laptop? And her mom went home, got her laptop, and she was there till about 4:30 writing along with us.
Wow.
And that's pretty amazing. Now, come November, the Woodbridge Library, we've got a talk scheduled for the 23rd at 7 p.m. We're going to have our kickoff party the 30th at 7 p.m. And we're going to be doing write-ins there on a weekly basis. And they'll be on part of the library calendar and the schedule. And you want to make sure that you go and check that schedule out, because it's going to be a lot of fun.
It should be a lot of fun. And if you're interested in writing, if you're interested in becoming a better writer, I'd urge everybody, get involved. Get over to the library in November, right? November, when's the first?
First November.
November 1st, of course, the day after Halloween. So go trick or treat and then go over and start writing the great American novel, right?
That's right.
All right. My guest has been Bill Patterson. He is the Regional Municipal Coordinator for NaNoWriMo. That will do it for today's show. We thank you all for watching. We'll see you the next time we go About the Town.
What we're doing here is Camp NaNoWriMo. You've heard it said that if there's 1,000,000 monkeys on 1,000,000 typewriters for 1,000,000 years, they'll reproduce the works of Shakespeare. This is one monkey in one box writing a novel. And I thought it would be a great idea to show people that you can, in fact, write a novel.
Monkey in a Box is a self-imposed challenge by our monkey, Municipal Liaison Bill Patterson. He thought to himself, what if I wrote my novel in public and showed people how I do this and how possible it is? We've invited writers from throughout our community to come and write with him. He has a large screen TV which is projecting the exact same thing that is on his laptop, so people are reading his writing in real time.
We've had people come up and stop and talk to us about writing, and it's just been a fantastic, fun time. If you want to write a novel, we're here to help you.